And we're back now. It's been referred to as red gold, and farmers worldwide are looking at ways to cash in on it, including many in South Africa. Joining me now on Markets Unusual to talk about this rare and very expensive commodity is Gary Alfonso. Thank you so much for your time, Gary. Talk to me, because we just know about yellow gold, the yellow metal, but now you're here to talk to us about red gold. What is that? Okay, well, when last did you buy saffron to put in any food?
Saffron? I don't even know. I've heard the name, but I actually don't know if I know what it is or if I even use it.
Well, saffron currently trades at 250,000 Rand a kilogram. So when you take saffron and the way saffron is farmed worldwide, you know, and you look at, for instance, I'm going to show you quickly what saffron looks like. It's a reddish, bluish, purplish flower.
Yes.
And these stamens come out of the flower of the saffron plant, and that's where you would find it in your general sort of spice environment, and that is what you pay 250,000 Rand a kilogram for. That's why people generally buy saffron in very small amounts when they do buy it, because it takes 150,000 saffron plants to produce 1 kilogram of saffron. And we're going to look at the saffron producing environments a little bit later on, but one of the key aspects of producing saffron is that there are bulbs under the ground which push out the saffron, and it takes 3 to 4 cycles for the bulbs to be stimulated enough to push out what's called stamens or stems into the flower, and it's those stems that need to be harvested by hand individually and taken and broken into little portions for global markets, etc. And many people are keeping it state secrets what they use saffron for, because we know it in foods, but there is also a growing use of current lifestyle, modern lifestyles, in how people use it for pharmaceutical, for medical, and lots of other uses. If you look at, for instance, some of the global production markets in the world, Iran is the rock star of saffron production in the world. More than 90% of the world's saffron is produced either in Spain or Iran. Current, and there you see just generally some production, only 160,000 tons or kilograms, 160,000 kilograms of saffron is produced per annum in an environment like Iran. In India, Spain, you see further down, but you see the hectares, the areas in which they produce it. There's about 50,000 hectares in Iran which constantly produces saffron every year. And then you see down to Spain about 200, that's up to currently to about 400. Dry, semi-arid environments where they produce it. And it's starting to catch on in South Africa. That's the big reason why we are here talking about saffron today, because South Africa is not even close to producing any kind of amounts. But what they're starting to see is that the saffron plant is highly adaptable to very cold temperatures. So suddenly, in places like the Karoo,
yes,
where you previously couldn't plant much, saffron is an ideal crop. For climate like the Karoo.
Yes.
And also, it only needs about 150 to 250 milliliters of water per annum.
Those are very little.
Very little. Needs very little. The only issue is it's very intensive, as we spoke. It's very intensive to produce, to get the saffron out of the flower plant. But one of the reasons why South Africa could be an ideal environment for something like saffron is if you're looking at a country where the economy is declining, where jobs are becoming fewer and fewer in some of the traditional, here is an extremely high value crop worldwide. And there's even word that some Italian and French cognac and liqueur producers are using saffron to flavor their alcohol. It is certainly one of the crops to look out for globally currently as a value crop in an environment. And it can multiply itself and for as low as about 500,000 Rand in South Africa, you can get a hectare of saffron going. And of course, one has to be careful of those people who want to always sell you the bulbs to get going and stuff like that. But it's definitely one of the areas that the Department of Agriculture is saying, hey, there's something to watch.
Well, Gary, I cannot believe you have been hiding this from me until now. I mean, you could be hiding the elixir of life here. And it's quite interesting that I'd have to go to Iran to actually get the bulk of that saffron. But thank you so much for enlightening us on that very, very important commodity. That was Gary Alfonso with Markets Unusual.